All righty, so we're going to have a screen share. We're going to have a PowerPoint today. It's about field training and how to be successful during 9 to 5 business hours and how to be successful in outside of 9 to 5 business hours. So this is a pretty cool part today, guys. Excited to cover it with you. So first, we have an awesome PowerPoint right here, helping out new agents with success during 9 to 5 and after 9 to 5 hours. So this is going to be good if you're a new agent, but also if you're going to be training new agents either right now or in the future. Because I know we had 3 agents in sales school last week, and we've got 2 in this week. And we got Dallas coming up here in a few days. So half of our agency is going to be in Dallas. So we got to make sure that we have high activity today, tomorrow, in the first part of next week before we go out to Dallas next week. That way, when we're gone, our new agents can be rocking and rolling and crushing it while we're there. And yeah, so we're going to cover a lot of things. Feel free to screenshot this as we go on, guys. Feel free to screenshot this yourself because there's a lot of content. I'm not going to spend too much time on each page. Let me view this slideshow, play from start. There we go. Here we go. All right, cool. So we're going to talk real quick about these are things to do if you're a new agent right before, because we do have some agents on this call right now that actually haven't even attended sales school. They'll be attending sales school next week or the week after. So we're going to spend about 1 to 2 minutes on this page. And the great thing is, if you were in sales school this week, there's just some other things to kind of refresh your memory on. Or if you were in sales school a month ago, maybe some things to refresh your memory on as well. So we always have what's called a sales talk review / expectations call before Sales Academy starts to make sure that you know. So if you just got out of Sales Academy and you had this call last week, review the 10 agreements that you committed to your field trainer on what you're going to do. Number 1 is memorize your sales talk word for word before sales school. Enter your stats each night. There's 10 things that you agreed on. So make sure you review those 10 agreements that you agreed to. And then also as a field trainer, make sure that you review the 5 things that you told them that they can count on for you as a field trainer. And then there's 5 bonus things if you wanted to be a top producer. So make sure that you review that list because that really does start today, because today's Thursday and today's the first day out of sales school for a lot of new agents. So you'll definitely be following your first few days in the field. So just get expected to follow. And even before Sales Academy, if you have the opportunity to follow somebody before sales school, always plan that ahead. Some people don't have the opportunity to do that, but if you have an agent on your team, I've seen some of our top agents are actually in the field before they even go to sales school. That way they can see what a day is life in the life of a family heritage agent. Role playing as much as you possibly can. The more that you mess up now, the better it is for you. You don't want to get your first live approach that you say out of your mouth in front of Mrs. Jones the first day in the field. You want to practice and mess up as much in front of the mirror or your spouse or even your dog. If you want to role play on your dog as much as you possibly can. Share the Elevators podcast. That needs to be starting to listen to before Sales Academy and during sales school. There's actually episodes that the first couple episodes are actually geared to listen to before you go to sales school to really maximize that experience. Okay. And just visualizing them crushing it, having those conversations. Hey man, you're going to write an eagle your first 3 days out of sales school. You're going to have 300 names. You're going to write down on a sheet of paper of leads of people that that you want to get protected. Right. So just visualizing them, we're going to be write down every single person that that works at a business, where they work at, yada, yada, yada. And we're going to crush it. We don't even really need these leads because we're going to be going B2B anyways, but this is going to be extra things that you can do after 9 to 5 hours to go have home appointments. How many cousins do you have appointments with? How many brothers and sisters have you set up home visits with at 7 o'clock, once we get done hitting B2B during the day? Really getting them engaged in thinking big and clearing the decks. So when sales school ends, they can really hit the ground running. And hype up bonuses for all the new agents. We have what's called a beast mode bonus. That's only available your week of Sales Academy, and that starts right now. So you have to write 2,500, 20 hours of field work, 15 demos, and then making sure you submit your weekly game plan. And then once you do those 4 things, you'll get a $250 bonus and a nice t-shirt. And there's also quick start bonus. There's MVP bonus. So making sure that you review these bonuses with your new rookie is always good. Rookie of the Year talk. This is pretty cool because Matt Schwartz just became Rookie of the Year in our agency. I know Maria Klusenek was Rookie of the Year. She absolutely crushed it her first year with over 300K. I saw on the website, Austin John Maria. But guys, really talk about rookie of the year. Who's going to be the rookie of the year this year for 2022? Who's going to go right 350K year one, right? So just really be thinking big and talking big to your agents. Okay. And then also focusing on the sales talk and memorizing your sales talk. I don't care if you've gone to sales school or not, but memorizing it as if you're getting paid $1,000 a day to study that sucker. And if you don't know it word for word and you're in your second or third week, you have to study it as if you're getting paid $1,000 a day outside of 9 to 5 working hours, not during 9 to 5, but outside of those working hours. You need to be spending 2 to 3 hours a night studying that. Okay. So here's a couple tips during sales school. Feel free to screenshot this, guys, as well, so you can review these ahead of time if you're in the car. Make sure that when you have an agent in Sales Academy, you call them at least once per day. Okay, usually at the end of the day to answer any questions that they may have. Okay, that way when they meet you on Thursday morning, they don't have like a quadrillion questions. If you talk to them for 10 or 15 minutes each night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can pretty much get those questions knocked out that day of. Okay, and making sure that they know the game plan before Thursday morning, for Thursday and Friday. They should probably know usually Sunday or Monday exactly where they're meeting you at what time on Thursday and Friday, and even for the next week as well. Just making sure that you kind of get them to clear the decks. And it's important for you to clear the decks. If you're training somebody, you need to know, and your spouse needs to know that you're going to be clearing the decks for the rest of the week and even the next week to make sure that that new agent gets off to a fast start. Okay. Reading eagles, sending them eagles, talking about 2 out of 3 days, answering questions, having a goal for the first week, just talking big to your agents, very important. Tell them the territory that you're going to be working with them in, going ahead and be like, hey, we have a great plan for you. You're going to crush Yadkinville, North Carolina. You're going to crush Lincolnton, North Carolina, wherever that is. You need to make sure that you're talking big and be like, you're going to dominate your territory and everybody's going to get protected. Okay. And worst case scenario on Wednesday night, they know exactly where we're going to be meeting them Thursday morning. Okay. And so today's Thursday. Do you know exactly the first business that you're going to be going to today? Like everybody should know exactly where they're going to start. Yeah, it may not even be an appointment, but you should know exactly the business that you're starting at. That's super important. If you're in direct sales, that's one of the most important for direct sales is just knowing your starting point and at exactly what time. I'm going to be starting here at 8:45, no later. They may not even be there, but this is where I'm starting at 8:45, and then I'm going to go here, then here, then here, and just make the most of the day. And last thing on this slide is the dress code. This is very important, guys, because I have seen agents and worked with agents that are just dressed way too casual out in the field. And to be honest, the agents that dress too casual don't produce as much business. Look at the way it's like I wear a long sleeve button-up shirt every day since I've been here since day one. The only time I wear a short sleeve shirt if it's a nice polo shirt from the Globe Life Family Heritage Store. That's it. Okay, we dress nice, business casual, dress pants, dress shoes, not tennis shoes. If you're a guy, dress shoes, dress pants, long sleeve button up, or if it's a short sleeve. But dressing professional is very important. All right. There we go. Sorry, we had a hot mute right there. Somebody was in a workout class this morning. That's exciting. That was pretty cool. And also guys, dressing professional, because we're talking to business owners, we're talking to office managers, CEOs, and if you want to be treated professional, you have to look professional. Okay, so that's very important to going over the dress code before the first day starts. Okay, so here's the first few days. So this is what the first few days is going to look like when you're right out there in the field. Okay, so this is the most important thing. If you follow Aaron Stolp's field training schedule that we talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago on this call, every trainer should have this. If you're a trainer, if you have somebody in the field, you definitely know exactly what this outline should be, especially if you're in my agency. Follow that to an absolute T, which means that you start before 9 and you quit after 5 when you're field training a new agent, especially in the first couple of weeks. That's like a non-negotiable rule. Okay, spend at least 3 days with them within their first 5 days in the field. So obviously their first 2 days, Thursday, Friday, you'll be with them and spend at least one day, either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday with them in their territory as well, 3 days in their turf. I know some of our top agents will spend 4 to 5 days with them in their first 5 to 7 days. That front end loaded business, doing all the hard work up front, will really give you some freedom and flexibility down the road when they're crushing it. Okay, work hard now and play later once they've got their skills developed. And as the trainer, it's very important. Don't be the reason why the new agent, if they quit, if they aren't successful, you don't want to be the bad part of the equation. Okay, do your part, do your heavy lifting, and you need to have high activity. You need to have a great attitude, and you need to use the sales talk. Everybody, the new agent and the trainer need to have high activity, great attitude in the sales talk, and both parties need to be taking notes. The trainer needs to be taking notes on the rookie, and the rookie definitely needs to be taking notes on the trainer. Okay. And work minimum 9 to 5 and do 6+ demos, non-negotiable. Okay. High activity. And I tell this, train this person as if you're training a family member or your best friend. So each person I get to work with, pretend that that person is your mom or your brother. Train them as if like they're that person. You're going to do everything right. Teach them how to get referrals. Using the sales talk, do all the small things, have high activity in between businesses, talk out loud. Yeah, we just talked to Sally over at XYZ company, Mandy over at Beauty Salon. We're going to go crush it over here at Creative Care, the daycare right down the street, talking to Becca, right? So just talking out loud the names of the businesses you just talked to. That way, when you get in front of the prospect, you already have those names kind of ingrained into your brain. Okay. Also, field recruiting. When you meet a sharp person, tell them that we're hiring sharp people in their area. Okay. Do you see yourself working here for the next 40 years, or is this more of a temporary job? Okay. That's a great one-liner. Do you see yourself working here until you retire, or is this more of a temporary job? Obviously, we're not going to say that to every human being that we meet, but if you meet a sharp person that you're excited about, definitely field recruit them. Okay. In front of the new agent. And this is a big thing. I'm going to talk about this for a couple minutes, is working your turf tightly. Working your turf tightly. So when the area that you were selected to work, it is your duty, your job as a new agent and as the trainer train the new agent, to teach them to sit down with every single person in that territory. Okay. Every single business you go inside, every single one. I don't care if it's big or small or medium. There may be a couple businesses you wait 2 or 3 months before you see them, like the biggest of the biggest, but you're going to see them eventually. Okay. But you need to go into every single business. Don't judge businesses. People buy, not businesses. Okay. The top producers work their territory very tightly and marry your territory. So what I mean by marrying your territory is get stories from people. I was working in Jefferson City the last 2 days, and I feel like I grew up there after having all the stories that I've gathered. So many cancer stories I've gathered the last 2 days, heart, a couple ICU stories, accidents for sure, like crazy. And I've already got about 12 stories written down. So if I ever go back to Jefferson City, Tennessee, people are going to think I grew up and went to high school there just after 2 days. But really marrying your territory is critical if you want to produce a lot of business, because we are a creature. Human beings are creature stories. People buy because of emotion. This is emotional sale. And that's what get people emotional, is stories in their area, not stories from your family. They don't care about people in your family who's had cancer, but in their family and in their community. That's why they buy, is stories that you connect with them in their territory or in their family who's going through cancer, heart disease, accident, ICU, the whole 9 yards. Okay. And working your territory tightly and writing down these notes. Right when you leave a business, I was putting these notes in Sales Rabbit right away. Every single business, putting the notes in Sales Rabbit. Because what happens is when you go 2 or 3 businesses in a row, you're going to forget a lot of those critical pieces. You can't wait till the end of the day to do all this stuff, because there's way too much information. You talk to way too many people over the course of the day to wait till the end of the day to put your notes down. At the end of every business, be a professional. That 30 seconds is going to make you laser focused during the day. And then at night, study that material. Spend 10 to 15 minutes a night reviewing your Sales Rabbit and your notes for the day. That way you can ingrate it in your DNA, those stories, those power names, the manager that you sat down with, Habitat for Humanity that you have an appointment with next week, whoever it is, right? The business owner whose, son had cancer 10 years ago that everybody knows about, right? Making sure you have those stories ingrained in your brain, because that is going to open the doors for a lot of businesses that would not open the door for them if you just went up and cold called and didn't use those stories, right? So it's critically important to marry your turf. That is a huge part. That's called phase 1 of the business. And that will catapult you into phase 2 a lot quicker. Okay. That will increase your skill set as well in using names. And the last part is at the end of each day, log your stats in before you head home. Log your stats in before you head home. That kind of finishes out the day, and do your homework assignments. If you're a new agent, everybody on here gets an email from either Nicole or their agency owner with their homework assignments each week, the first 30 days, doing those. That will give you about an hour of things to do. Now, are you going to have to do homework your entire 20-year career here? No, but your first 90 days, it's very important to do those homework assignments to get ahead and to be a top producer and get to the point that you want your business to be. You were in the infancy stages of your business. You need to do everything the right way right out the get-go. You need to be the perfect supplemental insurance agent right out the get-go, and do all the small things, because I promise you, you'll be thanking yourself 6 months from now that you're doing these things. Okay. So I'm going to pause right there. We just got a couple last slides. Any questions or comments so far?
Kyle, it's Zach. I'm thinking through everything that you're saying, and everything you've just touched on. I'm 100%. If you do and implement, you will not fail. If you only do half of what you said, you are more likely to fail severely. So I would say take everything that you just mentioned to heart. You implement all those strategies in your first 90 days. And that's what it's all about, the first 90 days. Once the habits are in place, you can go outside and talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime. And it gets really, really fun. So don't be scared of the grind up front.
Yep. And that doesn't mean, thank you, Zach, for sharing that. That doesn't mean that you stop working after 90 days and just things come to you. No, you still work hard, but the thing is the habits are in place. Just like, if you're doing something for a certain amount of time, like waking up at a certain amount of time, like you wake up at 5 a.m. instead of 6 a.m., it's going to be really hard waking up at 5 a.m. when you first start doing it. But once you've been doing it for 1 or 2 months, then your body, your circadian rhythm, you're just naturally waking up at 5 a.m. without even thinking about it. You cannot even set your alarm clock and you're up at 4:55. You're like, boom, let's go. Let's start the day, because it's just so natural for you to do it. But these habits, they don't teach you these skills in college or in high school. They're taught here. So everything here is unnatural. You will be out of your comfort zone. Promise you that. But I promise you it becomes part of your comfort zone once you've done something for roughly about 90 days. Is that point that it just becomes ingrained into your DNA. So let's kind of just crush this last couple of slides. Next couple of weeks. So after the first week of sales school, it's important, as a trainer, to keep spending at least 1 day minimum in their territory with them each week. Just keep tweaking their skills, their skill set. Okay. Role play with them on a daily basis. You can role play with them on Zoom. Communication is vital. Stat calls each night when you're not working with them. That 5 to 10 minute stat call at 6 o'clock or whenever you're wrapping up your day is very important. And hearing how their day was, 2 things that they're doing good, 1 thing that they need to do to work on. It's called the compliment sandwich. 2 things that they're doing good, 1 thing that they need to work on. Voxer communication during the day is important. I know in our agency, we all have a Voxer chat for each agent between them, their trainer, and their agency owner. So communication, hey man, yeah, I just walked out of a PetSmart, talked to the manager, Elizabeth. It was great. Yeah, I actually have an enrollment with her 2 staff, but Elizabeth didn't buy because she told me she had to talk to her husband. So how do I get through that? Those little Voxer messages, and then we can give you a quick 2-minute response to that over Voxer when we have time during the day of how to crush the husband objection in the buying atmosphere. That way you don't get at the very end of the demo, right? So those Voxer communications during the day is very vital, especially for new agents, guys. Keep them engaged, high activity, and weekly business reviews. This is super important, guys. That we need these. I need these as a trainer. I know as new agents, they need these as well. These are very important. Having that 1 time a week. If you work in any kind of sales, you're going to have a weekly meeting with your higher up. You're going to have a weekly meeting with your CEO, your boss, whoever that is. Well, the same thing here. It's very important to have these weekly business reviews because we can review all your data for the week, what's going well, what's not going well, what you need to do to work on, and how to make some adjustments. And plus, if you need a puke or anything like that, puke up, that's a great time for you to vent on your trainer. We can handle it. That's what we're for. We're coaches, don't puke down, always puke up. So weekly business reviews, if you ever need to puke about something, that's the time to do it, right? So, and then also leading from the front, using the sales talk, using 3D names. And the best way to get better, even if you're a trainer and you don't feel like you're good enough yet, that you want to be, which is okay, because a lot of people are in this situation right now. The best way to get better is by teaching somebody else the basics. That's really how you improve your skill set. Okay. The trainer, the teacher always learns more than the student. Okay. So a couple last things, guys. One thing that I like to do is taking them out to dinner. If you're training with them in their area, if you have the ability to take them out to dinner in their territory at the end of the first day or second day, if you can get their wife there, even better, get their spouse there. That's awesome. That is phenomenal. I know Brian Avers talked about that about a month ago when he spoke on our call, making sure that they are doing their homework assignments. Hey man, so, I know yesterday was day 3 of your, what homework assignment did you do last night? Right? Just hold them accountable to that. As a trainer, you have the right to ask them that, to make sure that they're doing those things. What are you reading? Well, what kind of books are you reading right now? What kind of books are you reading? Just making sure that, guys, reading is a very important thing that you need to do to increase your skills. And it gets your head and heart right before the day starts. Get to know their family, right? Hang out with them. It's okay. Friday night, go grab a beer with them at a sports bar. Totally cool. That's the reason I love Family Heritage, is because we work with people that you want to hang out with even outside of work. Okay. And also have an accountability partner, showing them that you're eating healthy during the day. If you're stopping at Chick-fil-A at 12 o'clock for lunch, you're showing them a terrible habit. That's one of the worst habits in this business, is stopping to eating a big old fat lunch with them. Do not do that. Okay. I was eating protein bars last couple of days. Didn't stop to go eat, just drank a ton of water and then ate some healthy protein bars. The only time I would eat is at, dinner for night, right? Eating light during the day, having that high energy. Work out in the morning. If you're training somebody, you want to get that next level energy, do a nice workout before you go meet them. I promise you, your energy is going to be great. Dylan Buck talks about give energy to get energy. So if you want higher energy, you got to exert it first before it comes back to you. Okay. And if you want to, meet them at the gym. Like, hey, we're going to meet at the gym at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Right. And we're going to have a great habits. We're both going to hit the gym, and then we're going to hit the field. That's something that I've done before in the past. It's awesome. Send them eagles and claims to read. This will just get them on the right habits of reading eagles and claims on a daily basis. So you can go ahead, go to FHL Connect, download the eagles and email it to them. Like, hey, I want you to read one of these eagles every single day this week. It's going to be great for you. Okay. Oops. Let me go back. This is actually the very last page, guys. I've already kind of covered on half of this right here, but one rule is never puke down. So if you're training somebody, don't puke down on the agent, only puke up to your agency owner or to your market or regional director. They will do half of what you do well, and all the things that you do off schedule, they will mimic those. So if they see you, eating Chick-fil-A and not packing your lunch, well, guess what they're going to do, right? If they see you cutting out super early, and you have nothing else on the agenda just to cut out early, then that's exactly what they're going to do. If they see you showing up at 11 and you have nothing else on the calendar before that, then that's exactly what they're going to do as well. Keeping very good notes on them is very important, and making sure that they're taking notes on you. Under promise, over deliver. Under promise, over deliver. Don't do the opposite, or that'll break trust between you and the agent. Okay. Be humble. Get excited to get rejected in front of the new agent. That's always the best. That really builds that trust between you and them when they watch you get rejected in businesses, and just keep going to the next one. Prospecting. If you're prospecting and only going into certain types of businesses that you feel comfortable with, that's your niche, that doesn't work out for them, because they don't have that niche yet. They don't have the skills to do that. They need to see you go to every business. Okay. And really strive to have a 3 out of 3 day every single day with them. Okay. and really have the mindset of this is going to happen. Not I hope this happens, but we're going to make things happen today. We're going to 100% make things happen. A couple last things, Elevators podcast, making sure that they're listening to that, playing that in the car. That way they kind of see you doing that. That's the best podcast to have. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Show them how to use a goal card, especially the first 2 days. Because I promise you, people don't really know how to use a goal card. You got to show them how to use it the first couple of days, how to keep track of their stats, contacts, intros, demos during the day. And the last thing is have fun. Talk about building an empire with them. Be a visionary. Like, hey, man, I want you to have your own office in 2 years. I want you to market director your first year and then hit regional director your second year. Would that be something you'd be interested in? I want you to get really good the first 90 days and do all the things right. And then we're going to start adding people to your team in 3 months. And you can just start duplicating yourself like a machine over and over and over again. And it's going to be awesome. You're going to have a team of 5 within 6 months. And then within a year, you're going to have your own little office out here, and you're going to be hitting market regional director qualifications and qualify for the vision team. So guys, this is great. I'm going to pause there. That was a lot of content. That was a lot of content right there. Any questions or comments about that so far?
No, that was great, Kyle.
It's great info. Thank you.
All right, guys, who's fired up for Thirsty Thursday? This is always the best day of the week. Thirsty Thursday and Fat Friday are always the 2 best days. So guys, get excited because the 2 best days of the week are right now. Let's go crush the last 2 days. I know that we need to really earn, especially the people going to be in Dallas next week. Now's the time to really earn that trip because we're going to have a short week next week. So we got to really put the pedal to the metal today, Friday, and have a monster first 2 days of next week before we head off to Dallas. So let's go out there. Let's go have some fun, and we will not have a call tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday, but the recruiting rally call and the skills call will be going on right at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're not in a demo, make sure you're on that, guys. And let's be loud on Voxer today, on our Voxer chats, and we'll see you guys Monday morning. Have a great day, everybody.
Woo woo! All aboard the Globe train, baby.
Hey, Kyle.